Monday, April 1st, and you're watching the Weekly Rant and Praise for the quest to weigh less. And, well, I have an announcement to make. I've got some really good news, and it involves my husband and I. And, okay, are you ready for this? You ready for this? We are having a baby! I can't believe it. Like, it's crazy. We're totally, like, we just found out before we went to PI, and I didn't want to say anything because, I don't know, you never know with these things. And yeah, we're gonna have a baby. It's crazy. Like, after 10 years of being together, finally, eh? Just kidding! April Fools! Oh, sorry, Mom. I had to do it. My mom's gonna kick my ass for that one, just because she's been wanting us to have a baby for like ever. But you know, it is what it is. I look like ass right now, so yeah, and I'm in my jammies here, well, my house coat. It's Easter Monday. What am I gonna vent about today? You're probably like somewhere over here, and what I can't stand is when, and trust me, I used to be like this. Anytime there's any little sign of somebody telling you that you're wrong, or there's friction, or not even like just me sticking up for myself to somebody, people seem to run away, delete, block me. It's okay when they're honest with me, mind you, and telling me what to do and saying that they know what life is like and you gotta be this way and da-da-da-da-da. Well, then you give them your honesty about how their honesty made you feel, and boom, they're gone. They don't even, you know, come back and just figure things out. You know, I really appreciate my friends who do that, and I've got quite a few of them, and so it's really cool that I can focus on those people instead of the people who weren't really a friend in the first place, the people that are just trying to shove me in their little box and keep me the way they envision me so that it makes them either feel better about themselves, so they're sitting there thinking, I'm the most positive person in the world, and that Lisa girl, she's totally negative. So I am just so much better than her, and I totally need to start ignoring her, or else my life is going to be negative. If people have that power over you, you're playing victim all the frickin' time. Life is not perfect, and not everybody is going to pretend to be positive all the time. I judge that people pretend to be happy when they're not. I don't know a single soul who hasn't been upset at some point in time. So, what is sad is that people go around pretending that they're positive instead of just letting what comes up come out and then getting over whatever it is that they're dealing with. For instance, somebody was saying that I need to love myself more and more each day, and that I need to realize that God loves me. I know God loves me, and I love myself more and more each day. And so for someone to come to me and say that I'm not doing that, one, they don't know me very well, and two, that means that because I'm negative, they've now boxed me in as not loving myself enough because I'm not constantly on a positive note. And all these different things, like, where do people get off? I mean, I know I have my judgments, I state them. I don't know where I left off, which kind of sucks because somebody called. That's what you get when it's Easter Monday, I guess. What also pisses me off is that there's so many people out there that would rather you pretend to be positive and happy so that they can feel positive and happy. For some reason, everybody else has control over them, that if they're around negative people, all of a sudden it's going to make them negative. You're negative because you're negative. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Start owning who you are and stop blaming everyone else for bringing you down. Like, honestly, I am so sick of it. Like, I used to be one of those people. I blamed everybody for bringing me down. I was the type of person who thought that everyone needed to be positive. I needed to be positive. Like, it's not realistic. So, you know, sometimes people are upset. And sometimes people swear to not respect people or not keep them in your life because you see them as overly dramatic or negative. Oh my God, like, there can't be anything more dramatic than cutting a person out of your life because they're sticking up for themselves to you. Like, honestly, what am I supposed to do? Just say, yeah, I do gotta love me more, and I gotta believe that God loves me. Even though I already believe those things, I'm supposed to lie and just lay down and take somebody putting me in their little box. And yes, I know that whole saying, oh, let people think what they want to think. You are who you are. You know who you are. You don't need to justify it. Well, have you ever heard of sticking up for what you know is right? I do that. And I used to do that when I was younger, and I had a lot of respect, and I respected people who did that, and I respect others who don't. However, like, oh, I just get so frustrated with people who don't respect me for embracing duality. You know, I know that I have good days and less than good days, or moments, or weeks, or months, or whatever, and that's okay. I'm not going to hide it. The more I hide it and the more I run from it, the more overly dramatic I become. So why put myself in that situation? And like, just like, I'm a very nice, very giving person, and anybody who thinks because I get upset or angry at a person, or I speak my mind, that I'm no longer a good person or a giving person or a caring person, that's because you're tapping into that anger within you, I imagine, and you're realizing that you don't want to be the giving person to me anymore. It's kind of hypocritical. You don't want to be the person who gives me your time or your energy. So you're, in essence, the person who's taking away something from somebody else. And that's what's making you angry, I imagine. Not the fact that somebody stuck up for themselves to you, but that you are upset with yourself for being angry with that person and not dealing with it properly. So my suggestion, because it works for me, it may not work for everyone, is to be honest about it and to speak with those people and to, you know, instead of just doing things online, speak with those people in person. You know, I just had a person sit there and come down on me. I opened up my old Facebook and I have 840 some odd people on there. I used to have 1,500 before I closed it. And so a lot of people probably deleted me because I was deactivated for, I don't know, half a year to 3/4 of a year. Anyway, and so someone gets upset with me after posting a post about how I think it's not worth my while to have 847 acquaintances that still have no, like, interest in my life, even though I've taken an interest to theirs. Some of them still haven't taken an interest. It doesn't make sense. I'm not a terrible person. I'm guessing some of the algorithms on Facebook are effed up so people aren't getting my things in their news feed or whatever. I have no idea. But all I know is that I was really frustrated and I vented that. And people were like, oh, you're just trying to get attention. Or you should, you know, Facebook isn't real life. Just so you know, Facebook is part of real life. We may not be face to face, but when I'm on there, I'll say the same fucking thing to you as I say on Facebook in person or here on YouTube. So I may not have been that way before, but this is me. This is who I am in this moment. I'm no longer living by a story of my past or by something I'm veering towards in the future. I am living now. So if I'm upset because I post a bunch of different things that I feel is inspirational to people who may need it, or whatever it may be. And this person who got upset with me has went through some of the struggles I go through, and I'm sure she still goes through it, and she felt the need to sit there and be like, well, no one likes your stuff because, one, it's always about binge eating, or if you're eating a burger or not eating a burger, if it's about raw foods, or if it's about da-da-da-da-da, it's getting old. And this person was someone who I was apparently supposed to be able to trust, and apparently she's known me for so long. She spent maybe 3 months of my life with me and has barely spoke to me since. I've tried to keep in touch with this person, and so I'm sensing, if I had to judge this situation, I'm sensing resentment, I'm sensing jealousy, and I'm going to judge that this person is upset because they're tied down, and I have a life where I can make my life. I choose what I do, when I do it, and how I do it. And whether that be making videos about food or dancing or whatever. And you know what? Not everybody likes the things I do. Great. That's fine. I understand that. However, if you're supposed to be my friend and it takes you a freaking almost a year to be honest with me about how you feel about me, my videos, and my journey, then we had a problem. I'm glad I now know where I stand with that person, and I told her exactly how I felt. If you have kids, that gives you no reason to say that you're too dang busy to care about other people and their journeys, and you want to call me a narcissist who's trying to search for attention when really I'm just asking for support. There's a difference between just being on something to get attention because that's what your self-validation is all about. I am trying to get attention so I can send my videos around the world to more people, to people who may need it, who have binge eating disorder, or who are trying to lose weight and feel like they can't with binge eating disorder, or people who want to be inspired to move or dance or have fun or come out of their minds and get in touch with their senses. I can't see how there aren't more people interested than there already are. I already know that the whole entire world is not going to be interested in my journey, and I completely understand that. But what I don't understand is how out of 840 some odd people, there's like maybe one for the last like couple of weeks that I've had my old Facebook reactivated, how there can only be one person every couple of posts liking it. So I was confused. So I posted that, and then I got a bunch of people saying that, oh, life is more than about Facebook. Yeah, I know that. I do have a life outside of Facebook and outside of YouTube. I just know how to work both, because that's who I am. In this moment, I am a social media networker, and I also network in real life. I do have friends. I do have family. And thanks a lot for judging me for no apparent reason and saying that I base my whole life on Facebook and YouTube. You guys might want to check your facts and actually watch more videos than one that you watched maybe a year ago or a couple months ago. Things change. I am not binging very much lately. So to say that it's getting old, that all I do is binge, well, then you're not paying attention. And obviously, if you're too dang busy, you seem to think that having 3 children and your husband and whatever else is apparently gives you more self-worth than anyone else on the planet and more validation to be someone who doesn't give a shit about others. Excuses to not care about people because you're too darn busy don't make any sense. So, it is what it is. And that's great. I'm just so glad. I know, like, in the last couple of days, I weeded out 3 more people. And I'm not going to call those people negative. I'm not going to call them positive. However, I didn't even weed them out. They weeded themselves out of my life. They blocked and deleted me. And I know this is all, like, to some of you, drama and da-da-da. Label it as you will. However, this is my life. Whether it be out in the real world or on the virtual world. It's still happening. I can't ignore who I am at any given moment. And if you think I should, or you think you should, then good for you. That is your journey. That is not my journey. Don't box me into your journey. I don't have to live up to your expectations of who you think people should be. I only have to live up to mine, and I don't even have to live up to that. I'm just going to be who I am right now, right here, right now. So, that's that. Wow. That just, verbal diarrhea. See, that's what you gotta do. When you're venting, you don't stop and you don't sit there and, like, when I'm venting, I don't stop and sit there and think what I'm upset about. I just let whatever I'm upset about come out of my mouth. The more I rationalize and think about things instead of just feeling it while I'm feeling it, the more it becomes out of context and makes me feel even worse. And so, the first day that it happened, it was before our day trip, so I was letting that kind of boil and simmer and, thinking about it, and then Matt got cranky during our trip, so I got cranky back, and it was just a shitstorm. And so, when I can't deal with things with those people or have a place to vent to, not so good. I'm thinking I might from now on, when things happen, and I did that a couple times during my other vlogs. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, whenever something happens that upsets me, I'm going to get the camera, if I have it, and start venting. Just let it out right there on camera. Exactly how I feel. And tell you, like right now, I can't exactly, I imagine when I was upset about that message I received, Imagine I was shaking and my palms are sweating, and I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I just went with it. I typed what I was feeling right out of my fingertips onto that keyboard into the virtual world. After I wrote it, I was like, wow, no regrets. There was no regrets. I no longer regret speaking my mind. And I think that's what is sending people away, because they're like, oh, what a rude bitch, you know, I imagine. You can't be honest with someone and not expect honesty back if they're willing to give it to you. It is what it is. I am so grateful for yesterday, for today. It's Easter Monday, and just life is great. I notice the more I deal with stuff, the more I enjoy the good times. Like, the good times are really prominent, and the bad times are not so prominent. They're just there, I deal with it, and then they go away, you know? And that's me labeling those times, you know? And the fact is that even in those less than good times or bad times, I learned something. And so it makes it a great experience to live in duality, knowing that God and myself have my greater good at heart. And there are friends out there that have my greater good at heart, and I have theirs. You know, I don't want anything bad to happen to people. I just want people to realize that if you're feeling a certain way about me, maybe it's because you're judging things about me. Or same with me with other people. I don't necessarily think that everything I think is 100% truth when I judge others or when I notice things about people or perceive things. They perceive that I think it is, and then they get upset, I imagine. Anyway, so I just wanted to thank everyone for wishing me a happy Easter, and I thank all the new subscribers for subscribing. I'm really enjoying this journey. I'm really grateful for the opportunities that I have, the fun things I get to do. Just living. I'm happy I'm going to have my family here, and I love my mom. I love my family so much. I love my friends, and those of you who support me, thank you so much for not, you know, sitting on your high horse and thinking you're better than me because you're this or you're that, or you don't do what I do, or you're uncomfortable with me dealing with it because you really don't want to deal with it. You'd rather put that stuff on the back burner. Thank you for dealing with everything you're going through and helping me deal with everything I'm going through. So, I have to go now. It's time for the festivities to start. I still have to take a shower. It's 4:18. Yep, I got up late on a weird sleeping schedule again. So, but it is what it is. If you think everything I'm doing is getting old, that's cool. You just won't watch the videos. If you're still interested in someone working through all their bullshit and maybe finding ways to work through your bullshit, or maybe you have something similar going on in your life and you can relate and it helps you get over your bullshit, hey, my job is done. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you all had a great Easter weekend. If you don't celebrate Easter, I hope you had a great weekend. And thank you so much for watching. Namaste.
So deep, can't you see? See the light in the distance. Open up your eyes, look to the sky. Just let your heart speak. Don't waste another heartbeat, 'cause we'll never know till we let it